Well, we have learned from our sources that 2 people have died in this fire. I want to show you exactly where it is. It is tough to see only because the house is behind that large tree, that pine tree there, right in the middle of the scene here. Joining me now is Herbert Carter. You were one of the first ones to try and figure out what to do in this situation. You were a neighbor across the street. You knew this couple. Tell us what happened.
My neighbor came and knocked on the door, told me that the house was on fire. Immediately, I grabbed my key, opened up the door. And when I opened up the door, there was pitch black smoke. So I got on my stomach, crawled back in there as far as I could. I hollered for him, and I got no response whatsoever. Then I almost lost my eligibility to see what I couldn't see, so I had to crawl out of there myself.
You risked your life to try and save this couple. How did you know that they were in there?
I was positive they was in there. I just left the house 2 hours ago playing his lottery tickets. He likes to play his lottery every day. And he was cooking at the time, and she was sitting in her easy chair. And when I seen where the fire was coming out, that's exactly where her easy chair was at. That's why I tried to crawl back to that spot of the room so that I grab anybody or hear anybody to get them out. And it was totally impossible. The smoke just knocked me out.
And this was an elderly couple. We had learned from neighbors here they were in their 90s.
Yeah, my uncle was 93, and she was in her 80s, late 80s.
One of the first people to live on this block here. I mean, talk about just the significance. What did they represent for this neighborhood?
Well, they were just 2 wonderful elderly people. Didn't bother anybody, and everybody respected and loved them. And they gave, and they was good to everybody.
A tremendous loss for the neighborhood. Thank you so much. Our condolences to you. Again, 2 people dead here at this house fire. Neighbors, a lot of them coming home from work, learning about this, just shocked, in grief, in awe of what's happening here. Obviously, we're going to learn more from investigators and neighbors here, and for now, we will send it back to you in the studio.
Certainly a sad story there.
Yeah, Andy, and we heard that man say his uncle, 93 years old, so he's family?
Yes, Herbert, it's your uncle, correct? Is that what we heard correctly? Yes. It's but I gotta say, talking to some other neighbors here, this man may have been Herbert's uncle, but we heard another neighbor say this man was a patriarch of the neighborhood, someone that went out of his way to get to know some of the younger neighbors and residents, and folks here in their 30s and 40s saying they grew up with this man, with this couple. So obviously a huge loss for this neighborhood.
Yeah,